Hey everybody. Ba, 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 ba. Hopefully people can see me. I don't know why the chat is not showing up. Da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-dum. So this morning or today I've been trying to go a little bit early and of course I freaked out again trying to get this started only to realize a little bit later that what had happened is I still had a link to the old Chrome that I was using last week before I updated a new Chrome. Here I am. I am at least 1 minute early for the Craig and Mike show number 85 during the pandemic, or at least what is coming to be known as the end of the pandemic. As at least here in America, there are places that are opening up. Hello, Fatima. Hey, Fatima. There's been a thing I've been wondering. Did you ever make it back to your country? And if so, what did you have to go through? Hey, Elaine. Good to see you again. It was interesting. The advertisement that you sent me, I think it is actually pretty viable. Ask Craig about it because he did something similar with someone who had a one-star review, and I think that that's it's kind of funny because the value of one-star reviews a lot of times is making sure that you don't acquire the wrong reader. And if you send this out to people, one star, blah blah blah, what was said, then it should attract the right reader to know what they're getting into. And it's just funny as well. What day? Yeah, what day is it? I think it's Friday. I think I have one this morning that I have to do with the Craig and Mike show, and then I get to do it again tomorrow. It's a blessing. Good morning, Jeremy. Good morning, Kimberly. And at some point, there will be enough that'll get on, and I won't be able to say good morning because I just cannot seem to focus on camera, what I'm talking about, and what's going on over here at the same time. It's been an odd week for me. We opened in Las Vegas 2 weeks ago. And then I've spent a little bit more time out and about, and I'm trying to acquire the skills that I lost during that time of how do I work when I'm out versus just looking around and enjoying the sunshine. Um, so that's a little bit different. They're not opening Vegas yet. It won't open, at least the first ones won't open until Tuesday, and I think that's Treasure Island. Some more are going to open about a week later, at the end of May, beginning of June, middle of June, and then some of the different casinos here, like Aria, are at the moment rumored not to open until 2021. They won't open enough casinos until it becomes obvious that there's enough traffic to hold them. So they'll have everything from the inexpensive value casinos all the way up to the over-the-top casinos, and they'll bring them online as they need them. The truth about one stars, but they still hurt. Yeah, yeah. It's interesting because even though I know we have really or books that sell very well with 3.9, 4, and 4.1 stars, I hate them. It's kind of like I see the sales. I look at the biggest ones of the big, and I realize that the review count doesn't necessarily affect sales, but it feels like it does because I, as a reader, would typically require everything to be predominantly 5 and 4 stars, or 80% of them to be in that area. So it's one of those things that doesn't work for me personally as a reader, but I get it. So good morning, everybody. I hope everyone has spent a little bit of time. LMBPN, congratulations, 20 books to 50K, 40,000 fans, and members. We do have a link. It's inside the 20 book Facebook group. If you'll go over there, we're giving away 4 iPads. We're going to give away 4 Amazon gift certificates. We're also going to give away 6 pack of Coca-Cola with your name on it or the name of your character, provided Coke lets us. And we will do that as well. And I think we'll probably do at least one more giveaway, something else that we'll concoct. On that page, you're going to be able to find the link to Ali, the Alliance of Independent Authors. If you sign up, you will get a digital copy of Orna Ross's new book that she is putting out on being part, of this wonderful indie writing revolution, indie authordom. And then you will also be entered into a sweepstakes where they will be giving away 10 one-year memberships to Ali as well. So do avail yourself of that. Go, go, go LMB, go 20 books to 50K. Congratulations on 40,000 members. Oh goodness. Okay, we have finally. Uh, yeah, okay, Jens. For those who don't know, Jens Schultz is actually heads up the German translation part of it, and so using this as a mention that our book was released within 1 hour is a good way to get yourself in trouble. As others don't. Tell me that stuff in Slack. Hey, Great. Don't want to say that here live with everybody else going, you got 1 hour. That is actually pretty rare for us to do that. A couple of weeks ago, we were doing 96 hours and even 120 hours one time for a release of a book. So Rami Vance, not too happy on that one. Good morning, everybody. No, no, Elaine, no. And by the way, that's for Richard, for those that are questioning. Waiting to James Blatch. Is James in here? If so, I missed you, James. Yeah, I don't see him. Well, if he's here, congratulations being here, guys. So I need some questions. What is it that everyone would like to see? I can tell you that I will be speaking at the BEA, the Book Expo America, on an audio panel. This will be virtual. I will be um, speaking tomorrow with Craig, of course. We'll just be chit-chatting as we normally do. Probably, something about posteriors because it's Craig after all. Um, yes, fearing out pitchforks and violence. Absolutely. Hey, James, how are you doing? It's good to hear from you, man. It was interesting because we had a person who reached out and felt that the Stephen Campbell that I use, that is our operations guy, is I guess the Stephen Campbell she knows, who is questionable at best. It's not different Stephen Campbell, but it was interesting that they picked that up. It, I happen to know M&Ms won't put words they consider off color to your customer. That's true. And they don't do it on Coca-Cola bottles either. There are a couple of fantastic ladies by the name of Diane and Doreen, and Scott Paul's wife. I can see her face. I can't think of her name right now. Anyway, she named them the Double D's, Diane and Doreen. And so they were doing something really nice, and I wanted to send them a bottle of Coke. So I put Double D's for their names as the name on the Coke bottles, and Coke rejected it. They wouldn't let me. Let's talk barbecue. Can do that. I'm about to have Jesse Ray's barbecue. I surprised a person last night when I was picking up my barbecue. I came in behind her. She was happened to be also from Texas, but she was looking at the menu and choosing a few things. And I just mentioned from behind her, I said, "Hey, put that on my tab." And then I encouraged her to get waffle fries as well. So I just wrapped up, gave her all of her stuff, and so hopefully met her and whoever her grandmother, I think she was living with. Just an interesting time. It was her first time to try Jesse Ray's, and I hope that they had a fantastic time. I personally enjoy waffle fries. It's quite the spectacular. It's for me, it's two meats, sliced sausage and sliced beef on top of waffle fries and macaroni cheese and a sauce, an Alabama sauce. Tasty. Riding horse, how to always stuck on quite a bit of external bad. Yeah. External bad issues and 66,000 words to write in 6 weeks. That can be done, certainly, Jeremy. But you're a long time been around, so you know that as well. But it's work. It is absolutely work, and too many people tend to wish that what we get to do is simple. Not so simple. And it just we talked about this one time, and so many people miss opportunity because it's dressed up and looks like work. So, a question from Jamie Davis: do you think audiobooks are an important part of all indie authors' business plans? Why or why not? Excellent question, Jamie. We've done quite a bit of few things on this ourselves, and here's what we've learned. If you have a way to be successful with your books, meaning that you're consistently creating books that are bringing the income in, it is rare for you to be able to fund your own audiobooks to the same amount that you can actually require the money coming back in. But this happens to be, by the way, for your strategy, your mountaintop. So once again, our mountaintop is we want readers to want to reread our books and to make money. Our first series, our first audio series in LMBPN was the Cartherian Gambit, and it was done, probably 6 months past when we should have been doing it in order to get the biggest boost. However, regardless, we still made our money back. Therefore, we felt that you do audiobooks, you get your money back. And it became obvious after a time that wasn't true. You can get your money back, absolutely, and you can get some fantastic money back. And I do know of a couple of stories where people ended up earning more money for their audiobooks than they did their ebooks. So this is very author specific when you're looking at opportunities such as that. In our case, it was 12 to 18 months, usually ROI for our audio. it was much more logical for us to start reaching out and selling or like, well, not selling, but licensing our IP for the audiobooks and allow the companies that were producing them who had the marketing muscle to also accomplish pushing them. Now, remember, generally speaking, the idea is that so goes your book one sales, so goes your audiobook sales. So if you're pushing your book one in advertising, it should help your audio side of things. What we decided to do is it became obvious that if we had another company focused on the audio side and they were pushing it from their direction or we're pushing our books from our direction seemed to be the best solution for that. And we not only retained the money we would have had to invest into audiobooks. And by the time that we made this decision, we were past 200 audiobooks. So you're talking about over $500,000 in cost at this point that we decided to do this. And for us, I would equate that to a minimum of 100 additional books of ebooks that we as a publishing company would have been able to put out. And so we will get our money back. There's no argument about that, but it could take anywhere from 15 to 20 months on average for us to accomplish getting that money back. And it didn't make logical sense for us. However, as we made the decision a couple of years ago to go wide in audio, not to go audible only. Like, we have to fill in. So we're slowly also gathering fans around the world because audio not only reaches a different market, it reaches a different market in different countries. We were in, I think, Frankfurt or London when we learned that some countries are audio first, not ebook first. And part of that is because just the way that they listen to stories, that stories, being told is something that's really more applicable to their society. And so, we've moved our audio to strictly wide first to the best of our ability. And we have even done things like we work with Zibulation to get into the Spotify type arena where they, cut your book up into 3-minute chunks and move forward. And so, audio, I think, needs to be on it, whether or not its requirement has questions related to a particular author's business. Hope that helps. I don't agree, Dean, that audiobooks are a must. In fact, I don't believe anything is a must. But that's just, me, period. Um, fixing you a question. Because the reason that audiobooks is not necessarily must is what if their particular business plan doesn't include audio? What if they have a business plan that actually doesn't even worry about getting a lot of sales? Ergo, not everything is a must. And that's a philosophical statement more than anything else. Which nonfiction books do good for audio? Vicky, I don't know personally because we don't do nonfiction in LMBPN. I don't have any nonfiction books. I do hear that nonfiction is a fantastic one. Self-help typically seems to be doing well, but the answer is just go look on Audible. Go look up their nonfiction and find out. Um, mhm. Questions that are going back and forth. On your mega books experiment, do readers like them? They earning a profit faster than publishing the individual books first. I, you know, all right. So let's talk about that. It is in general good on the mega books first. It's not true for every series, I would say. We have found that there are problems if you try to go one, two, and then decide to go mega books. There's a lot of trouble trying to do that. So if you're going to do it, it seems like the answer is either start it with mega books but don't try to go to megabooks post the decision. So we are probably going to bring one of our megabooks. So we brought out a megabook in a particular genre, and megabook number two is not in production. So we got stuck. So we're going to have to go back in, break that megabook apart into the trilogy that it is. So in publishing, there's a lot of different opportunities that occur and a lot of different challenges. So from that standpoint, we get another chance. If we had brought it out as a trilogy, there you go. It would have been a trilogy and a box set, and we were done. Now with a mega book, we've done our testing, we've done our advertising because as a mega book is certainly, if like most of our books were in Kindle Unlimited, your money is going to come in just fine for advertising one book. And so I look forward to doing it. I think it is one of the strategies that is very helpful. And if you look at like which of the Federation will have 2,000 plus um, 2,000 plus pre-orders on book six by the time it goes live, probably closer to 2,500. And uh, eventually, perhaps, depending on the audio, because like the audio is under contract to Dreamscape for 7 years. Once those 7 years are up, and right now 7 years ask me 5 years ago, 7 years seemed like forever, but I'll be in this for 7 years and just 2 more years. So 7 years from when they licensed it, which I think was summer of last year, for us is just in the future. Our plans now are going out 12 to 36 months in general, conceptual. And so as we build these items, eventually 6 more years, 5 more years, we're going to be connecting with companies and going through the 7 year licensing thing again. So, we're going to have a new set of opportunities with all of these stories and all of these IPs. So, um, I personally think it's beneficial. It's not for every single series. It does do a lot of help. We often see multiple millions of page reads whenever we release one of these mega books that are successful per month, and that's quite nice. So the question from Melanie, I'm putting together large print paperback editions for my series. Is LMBPN doing it, and if so, has been successful? No, we are not doing it. Yes, we would like to do it. It's on our task list of things to do. One of the things that we are doing is working with Publishers Weekly related to connecting in with librarians. And the part of this is because the large print paperback editions works with libraries fairly well, or at least so I'm told. So there you go. We prefer that you don't skip any of the units that are intended to. Okay, so that's an internal. I'm in KU for my fiction. My paperback sales are low. So are ours. Would you be whether these are just focused on Kindle? Well, paperback you can go wide. Lance Ewing, paperback. There's no limitation on paperback about going wide. We personally are going to go with Ingram Spark, and there's many different reasons for this. But we have been moving over as much as we can over to Spark for paperback sales, and there are some strategies and tactics we hope to implement that we will probably not talk about until 2021. That would be 20 books 2021. So you're talking, a year and a half from now. But it is definitely situations where the strategies that I'm looking to accomplish, I believe Ingram Sparks is going to give us a tactical advantage to do that. So that's about as much as I'm willing to give at this point. Um, Paperback sales as a percentage of our sales is less than a third of 1% income. So, I mean, it's really minuscule from that. We do paperback because there have been fans that have wanted it. So certainly we do it there. It's not a massive additional expense for us to do it. Well, I don't think we outsource anymore. I think Stephen Campbell does the Vellum opportunity here. So, and if you're an IBM PC person, if you're a Windows person, there are ways to rent Macs if you want to do your own Vellum, and there's certainly people you can outsource to get a Vellum done as well, so that relatively cheaply. So you can get it done that way. If you believe Vellum is the choice, there's also Draft to Digital will do it for you. I understand that one's pretty solid as well, and that one's free. Side them on. So it's lovely working through these questions. If you have any, I would appreciate it. Please give me more. I have to go through some of these and make sure either I haven't missed them or that you guys aren't just talking to each other. Do I like, you don't like the, ah, how do I get these? This is fantastic. I love that you're talking to each other, but boy, does this make it hard. Happen to try to locate. Okay, I think I am caught up for the moment. Um, Jeremy mentioned paperbacks for him because friends and family want stuff and to sign. True, Christmas is a fantastic time for paperbacks. That's one of the times that ebook publishers hurt really bad because it's hard to give, people want to be able to wrap something to give it away. We have seen that, Jeremy, where I've had wives reach out to me for their husbands who liked a series looking for the paperbacks, which we didn't have out yet. I think we're behind, at least things have changed recently. We're probably behind 15 to 20 books minimum on getting the additional paper wrappings and everything else just to get paperbacks out. It's actually something we've been challenged with this year. Would you prefer? Yes, please put question in all in caps. That would be fantastic, Kimberly. My ability to go back in time through this is quite challenging for me. Other things that are going on, just in general, I will say that LMBPN has been working with and reviewing contract software. If you're going to have contracts with other people, with even companies, you're going to have to implement some sort of solution for the date issue alone, just the date issue, because you won't remember what's going on. We're large enough that we had to find, software that's going to cost us multiple $1,000s a year to implement. That's fine. I never thought I'd want to do this type of software, but we did, and so we're implementing it, and there are opportunities. It's always been my focus in LMBPN that we have a very an office that's virtual. I was in IT before I got into this business, and I understood the software as a service model, and I knew that I didn't want servers either in my particular domicile or on some place that I was stuck to. So we do focus on having, software and services that are in the cloud completely. Dean, related to your anyone that does box sets with the actual box around the paperbacks, yes. If you get a hold of Ingram, they have a company that they have 25 companies. Ingram is the most obtuse connection of companies related around publishing you can find. However, they do have, I'm told, the ability to accomplish creating box sets. Now, there's also another gentleman, Craig probably remembers him, but he can do them as well. He's a small-time printer, but he also can do these amazing, lovely covers. Um, I Remind me, if you happen to watch tomorrow, ask during that and ask Craig because he knows the gentleman. He was at 20 books back in 2018. I really would like to give him credit for knowing that. Okay, question for Elaine. I haven't understood the issue around break-in, but megabook because of audiobooks. So that's an interesting one. So here's the challenge. If it's your audio, it's not as big a deal, Elaine, because you get the choice. But whenever somebody does the audio for the book, and you go and break up Megabook into books one, two, and three, the part one of those three parts is not going to point to the audiobook. Only the main one is going to. So until you figure out your structure related to the sales of the audiobook and trying to direct people from the broken up book one back to the audiobook, you have a disconnect in your marketing plan. And we haven't solved that problem yet, and we don't want to do anything that's going to jeopardize and hurt um, the business relationship with the audio companies. So until we can figure that out, we're not doing anything with it, if that explains things. Ah, Kelly, paperbacks are 90% running 1 week behind pub date. What about that other 10%? Do we get to them or do we just, do we do they just get into the pile of things we haven't caught up with? I don't personally know. Kelly would. Dakota Crowd, you're great also. I really wish I had ignored my wife's comment and bought that opportunity back in Edinburgh where you're offering yourself for a date. Hmm. Kind of. You've been looking for the box sets. Yes. So do ask Ingram. Justine, you're gonna make me. Oh, I was just on a call with her 2 days ago. Justine. It's like 4 letters for her last name. Hold on, I'll look up her name. I think she could probably get the answer for you. I'll even accidentally spell out Bylo, Bylo, Justine with an E dot Bylo at ingramcontent.com. Tell her Mike said hi, and if she looks like she's a little perturbed, tell her Craig said hi. No, just you can let her know that I sent you over there asking about this. Justine in over at Ingram, a great group of people to work with as well, which is not saying that other people aren't great groups to work with, but Ingram has been very helpful. I think Craig is watching. Oh, that'll do it. I don't have Slack open, so I can't tell if he's, irritated or not. I should do everything about Craig this whole rest of this thing. We'll see whether or not he wants me to work solo next week. He didn't, by the way, Craig did not listen last week. He needed to focus on getting some words down. Bylo, Dean. Let me make sure. I'm pretty sure that Bylo, Justine, Justine dot Bylo at Ingram, whatever I just said. Congruent. What did I say? Ingram, 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 content.com. Hello, Ian. I'm releasing, so Lance is asking, I'm releasing book four in a long series this week. Can I do the first three as a box set to push book four as well? You can. Um, if you're gonna push, I mean, there are so many ways that you strategically or tactically you can do this. The question is, does it work strategically for what you want? And the answer to that is, I don't know. Oh, okay. So there you go. Justine, John says that he spoke or that she spoke with Craig. So there you go. Going back on the question related to book three or four, I mean, if I was doing book four, I might do the Amazon reduced prices just to get people on it and know that there's a clock going. That clock concept seems to work decent, if nothing else. I realize that's predominantly America, but at least it would, kick some things in gear. So you can even put something at, 99 cents, $1.99, 2.99, then full price. Do them through your books and see if that helps more so than doing what you're doing. Because if you do get them going through books one, two, and three, you're going to up the rank of books one, two, and three, along with four becoming top of mind, and then you might be able to get the algorithms to give your whole set some loving. And that doesn't actually stop doing a trilogy or a box set on one, two, and three as well. You can do all of them simultaneously, and then those that are interested in box sets will see your box set area. Those that are interested only in singletons will then see your singleton effort. I like that. The Ingram lady. Yeah, if you're talking about Robin Cutler, that was a different input. Yeah, there we go. So thank you very much on that. We should get James to come on here. I love talking to him because of his accent. All right, so other things that are going on, we don't have anything here at the moment. I just had a fan come up and ask me if he would turn on X on audio. I got to minimize this. I can't have that show up, or I'll sit there and try to answer the question for them. What, but that brings up social media. So in the middle of this discussion, I get a Facebook thing. Social media fan wants to ask. My personality is that I want to answer immediately. Unfortunately, I can't, obviously, because I'm here doing the video, but one of the reasons I stay off of social is because I know my own personality, and that helps me try to get things done. Now, the downside is that typically I'm available either in our virtual office or on Slack in for the company, but yesterday I had to go out, I had to get something worked on the car, and then had a business luncheon right after that, which continued, and in between that, I had conversations with Sarah Nafke on the phone that I took while over at the auto dealership. And so for yesterday, I was pretty much off Slack. There was no connecting with me, and then I missed something. I had a blurb and a author notes due, and so I had to run and do them really quickly before I got on this morning. But it does, go to show that if you're disconnected, then there's missed opportunities as well of just giving give the that was hilarious. James says, give the UK accent a go. Yes, I keep so I've had a couple of conversations with James recently within the last, I don't know, 3 months or something. And both times I comment on this plane that James has like behind him in his conversation. And it reminds me of the SR-71 Blackbird, but it's not. It's a UK plane. And I've gotten it wrong twice now. So now I'm hypersensitive about the plane that he has sitting behind him. And James is really fond of it. And I can understand why. It's a cool looking plane. So, question from Vicky Smith. Working on a book trailer, I've heard the length should be a max of 3 minutes. What tips do you have for book trailers? We have an Australian friend narrating and drawing it. That's an interesting. Has anyone seen book trailers honestly drive more business than you could have gotten just by doing advertising alone? Um, we've tried it multiple times, and I've yet to actually see book trailers from a cost perspective, mind you, not from how cool it is, because I think we all would agree is really cool. I've done some book trailers. We've built some internally. We've never released. We've, done lots of video, but my thought on it is that it's hard to do an ad that's video for a non-video product necessarily. Like, people who are engaged with video look for movies or anything, and a lot of us are good enough to where our book trailers make people want to watch the movie or make people want to watch the TV show, not sit down and read a book. So I'm not sure of the answer about book trailers. We've done some, we've not done some. We have some that we could, put and produce. We're looking at the Kelly, can you help me here? What are those things called that we're looking at right now? related for the marketing, where they take, a still shot and they kind of electrify it or whatever. Yes, Andy, that is exactly what it is. The Vulcan, there you go. Yes, the Avro Vulcan. Nice. Thank you both. James, and the other person was Sam Livy. Yeah, see, Dean, my fans thought it was going to be a movie, and that's where I'm kind of at with this. Do you think it's an issue viewers maybe holding book trailer to movie trailer standards? No, I don't think it's an issue. I think, in fact, if you can make it, this is personal, I have no objective measurement whatsoever. But if you can create a video that points out it is a book, you make people think it's a book from the beginning, and you don't get them confused, that is probably, hashtag, probably going to be more effective in the end, is my thought. I saw the next Dresden book jump over my book thing. That's animated, animated GIFs. Thank you, Kelly. But we're looking at animated GIFs because you get what's obviously a single image and then it's animated. And so you get a little bit of both worlds. And so we're going to try that and see if that will help our cost per click on Facebook. How's my audio? Question from Kimberly Kennedy. How is your audio acceptance going on Amazon? I'm past 3 months now on audio review. Wondering how the big wigs are going. No, it's quite all right on the repeat. I apologize for missing it. What do you mean on audio review? Acceptance. Well, okay, so I'd have to ask Stephen Campbell if I have not heard of us having any more problems, nor other than the normal 10 business days. I've not heard of us having any issues. But then it's Streamscape, Tantor, and some of these people that are doing almost all of our books now because we license anywhere from 10 to 20 or 30 copies books or more each quarter now. So we have, we go out each quarter with a fairly substantial amount of licensed IP that we're, offering out to our contacts. So I don't know. They do give us dates. I would suspect that these companies have backdoors into Amazon that our typical indie would not. Aaron David Schneider. Ah, Aaron. Cost effectiveness in question, then. Got it. Aaron, good to see you, man. I didn't think you'd be on in the morning. So we go through here. Yes. So I'm going to go back to Andy Orr. So the little part that I did on the question here, stay a while in an old man's voice was definitely to Diablo 1, the classic, stay a while and listen. So that was my little piece that I had a little bit of fun this morning because once again I was freaking out trying to make sure that I got it released on time and got up here and then realized I had been using an old copy of Chrome to get started. Once I figured out that, I was able to make sure I had the latest copy of Chrome, got started right away. So that worked out very well. Question, what is the program that makes your ebook cover look like a real book? You know what? I personally use Photoshop, but then I have some templates to do that. So there's actually a free template site to allow you to bring down macros that, you put your image here, you hit go, and it'll build the book for you. I believe there's a website online that'll do it as well that we've used in the past. The name escapes me, but we had to pay a few $100s, a couple $100 to kind of, be a part of it forever. I think it's up to 300 now forever. And, you just effectively upload your image and then start clicking and it'll create them for you. But I believe also there's others. So if anyone, Canva and BookBrush by Tyler Davis says those are available to do this. I've not used either one of them, but there you go. Um, but yeah, it's fairly common how to do it. BookBrush does this kind of thing. Okay, so there we go with another one. BookBrush. Is that bookbrush.com? Let's look real quick. So I'm looking it up real quick, and it does look like yes, bookbrush.com pricing. Oh goodness gracious, get out of my way. So pricing is free. One author, unlimited pen names, create 15 million images. Excuse me, create 15 images. You can select from more than 1 million photos. That was a bit of a conflation. If you want to pay $99 a year, one author, unlimited pen names, unlimited images, greater than 1 million photos. So there's 50 templates, 50 backgrounds, 55 video credits per month. If you're willing to pay $146 a year or $12.25 a month, There are quite a bit. So bookbrush.com, it is something that you pay for. Hope that helps. Dean says Derek Murphy has a free one that is good. Have not seen it, can't speak to it. From that, I'm actually not having to do them personally. We have people that do that. People who do that a lot better than me, I should say. Let's put it there in that way. So love that. But yeah, BookBrush seems to be something that I'd look further into, and I would probably invest in it because it makes it easy. The time value alone. Here's another one, DIY book design from Jeremy. DIYbookcovers.com is what he uses. Haven't seen any limitations. They have a ton of choices as well. So there's another one. So going through those. So I hope that's very helpful. Do we have additional questions, or do we just call it a little bit early this wonderful Friday before the weekend? Memorial Day weekend, I believe, if that's not, at least here for those in the States, is doing it. I spoke again to Craig yesterday related to what we're thinking about 2020 and what's going to be available for here in the States related to putting on 20 books. Everything is a go, that everything we see, everything is a go, and looking forward to seeing those that can make it here in November. Another person, thumbs up on Bookbrush by Val. Dean has a link for it as well if you jump into there. And there we go. We are going to call it for today. This is the 85th version of the C&M show, of which Craig has probably done 70 of them. So what you can do. No, well, last thing, once he's just ditching us. I am ditching you. If you have no questions, I have nothing to say. I mean, I'm happy to answer them. Okay, Judith Favron, what am I planning to eat this weekend? Well, I intend to eat Jesse Ray's barbecue in the matter of a couple of hours. I'm going to be on an event with Martha Carr and people for whatever reason. Since I started, the whole Jesse Ray's barbecue thing in the Brownstone Chronicles, I suspect they expect me to be eating Jesse Ray's, which I, of course, am going to accomplish and do for them. Good seeing you, Tao. Good to see you again. We ran and got a chance to eat with Tao back in the beginning of the year. That's it. No beans in your chili. Damn it, people, understand that. There's no beans in chili. Yeah, just wind Craig up and let him go. That's true. If I had something that I was ranting on, I probably could accomplish that. But unfortunately, life is life at the moment. It's challenging, and there you go. There's some of the things I could discuss are a little bit more publisher related. The one thing that I will give you, I don't know that if everyone knows, but BookBub has a deal, has an opportunity that's not a featured deal. So do check into all BookBub potential ads you can sign up for because they have one that's not generally known. At least I didn't know about it. How about that? Everyone else might. And there we go with that. Oh man, don't start asking me about the questions on the chili. Can we still be friends? Kidney beans, I'm also having you drink Pepsi. Can we still be friends? We can, just not at the same time you're eating and drinking that. There we go. Anyway, so all of that, once again, sign up for the free giveaways. We're looking at probably giving away something else. If you signed up, that's the only sign up you ever have to do. We're not using those emails to try to reach out to anybody except those that are going to be winners. And then also, we have engaged with Ali to provide them the opportunity to give away 10 Ali memberships. And they're also giving away a digital copy of Orna Ross's new book for every person who signs up. So that is fantastic. Congratulations to 20 Books 50K for hitting 40,000 fans. And I'm not going into the chili questions, but that seems like something we might hit for next time. Everyone, if I can figure out how to turn this thing off, y'all have a fantastic Memorial Day or just weekend for those out of this country. Cobra are going to do subscriptions in Canada from John. I don't know. I would suspect they are trying, John. I wish I had thought of or knew about this a couple of days ago. Or hit up Justine, JUSTINE.BYLO at ingramconjure.com and just ask her. The more we follow and get connections with them, I think the better it's going to be. So please do that. Talk to you later, everybody. Bye.